Hello, Holistretch fam. Welcome to this video. My name is Frances Eve. In this video, I will show you how to get out of your critical, judgmental, and overthinking perfectionist mind. Trust me, because this has ruled my life up until now. I have found 3 simple tools to clear all of those patterns up. And all I want to do is share them with you so that you can be successful and efficient and effective in your life. Please subscribe to the channel and then let's begin. Hello and welcome back. Let's think about how our brain works. Our brain forms patterns and ways of efficiency that can be automatic. Now, there are great things to this because we don't have to think about when we brush our teeth, when we wash dishes, sometimes even when we drive. We don't have to think too hard about it, or riding a bike, for example. But there are things that are not so good about this because when we are born, we are infused with belief systems, with ideas, with thought patterns that have come from not just us, but from our mother, from our society around us, usually from our close-knit family, because that's where we grow up. When we grow up and we're younger than 5 years old, we take on information to help us in life, ideally. Unfortunately, sometimes these thought patterns can deter us in life and stop us from achieving the things that we really want to achieve. We can be overwhelmed with criticism, with judgment, with fears of not being good enough or imposter syndrome. And these things can be deeply rooted in our brain from when we are little. So then as we grow up and we become adults, there are certain things that we just don't even think about accomplishing or don't think are possible to accomplish because we are stuck in those thoughts. Even when we want to accomplish something, sometimes we are so stuck in our perfectionism that we don't even take the first step because we're afraid of not doing it right. If this resonates with you, then stay following the video because I'm going to give you 3 tips that have helped me overcome those feelings of perfectionism, imposter syndrome, and intense personal criticism. The first tip is to breathe. Simple, profound, and sometimes the most difficult thing that we can do when we're stuck in our thoughts and our emotions. When we are experiencing heavy emotions, such as anger, sadness, grief, frustration, breathing can be the most difficult thing to do. If you remember that your body consists of over 70% water, and you consider that the other part of your body is energy, then water and energy need to flow, don't they? How does water and energy flow? Through movement, through breath, right? Is your water and energy flowing if you are stuck in those feelings of inadequacy, not good enough, imposter syndrome, or feeling angry and frustrated that you're not accomplishing the things that you want to accomplish, or you're not doing the things in the right way or the most perfect way? That water and that energy can become stagnant in your body. And it's a downward spiral from there. Because once you get stuck, it's like quicksand. You continue to make yourself more and more stuck. If you don't move and don't breathe, things can only get worse. So what we want to do to pull ourselves out of that quicksand is to breathe. That's number one. And it's not just a breath. Really, we want to focus on the grounding breath that we were born with. The breath we were born with was our belly breath. So bringing the hands, and if you like, you can rub the hands together to get some energy flowing through your hands. When you start to feel your brain going on overdrive, maybe someone ticked you off, maybe your project didn't turn out the way you wanted, maybe you haven't accomplished the thing that you wanted to by a certain time, just bring your hands together and then place them on your belly. This simple practice can help bring awareness and perspective to whatever it is you're going through. When your hands are on your belly, you'll be more likely to breathe through your belly. And this is the breath we were born with. So we'll inhale, expanding the belly, and exhale, dropping it back down. Inhaling through the nose, expanding the belly and the diaphragm, and exhale through the mouth, dropping it down. One more time, inhaling, opening the belly, the ribs, the lungs, the diaphragm, the chest, and exhale the mouth. Sometimes it's helpful to exhale with a sigh. These are cues for your nervous system to slow down. When we are experiencing very high tension feelings, we're under stress, we're anxious, our nervous system goes into overdrive, and our breathing is the last thing our body thinks about. So our breathing just becomes just up here for survival. Just up here in the chest for survival. So it's up to us to consciously bring our breath back down so that we can root ourselves back down to what's real. Fear is all in our head. What's real is the natural communication that our body wants to give us. If our heart is in a place where we know we want to do something, we want to accomplish something, we want to get somewhere, then that is what's real. What our heart truly wants is what's real. All the thoughts about why we can't do it and why we're not good enough for it start to slow down, and we create space for perspective. Number 2 is surrender. This is a big word, surrender. It actually packs a lot. When we think about surrender, sometimes it can be very, very challenging because we are taught in our society to work really hard for what we want. We are taught to be in control of our life, to make sure we have everything under control. Our emotions are under control. Our actions are under control, and we're doing things in a certain particular way so that we can be effective. I get that. I understand it. Now, when you are working on clients, you must remember that your client is also a living body of water and energy. And this body also gets to be relaxed and in flow. When you as a practitioner or you as someone on your health and wellness journey is preventing the natural flow because of your thoughts and your shallow breathing and your tight nervous system, then the surrender is just not there. And if you can't surrender to higher source or God light energy, then life can be very, very stressful, and life can be almost impossible to live in. How do we make life abundant, fun, opulent, joyful, light, and free? By surrendering to the process, surrendering to the natural flow of existence. All of nature has a flow, a way of moving, a frequency. If you look up the Schumann resonance, you'll hear that it is a natural frequency in which we can learn to flow into. The music in this video is set to Schumann resonance so that you can experience this level of calm and surrender. How do we surrender when we have so much going on? That is a really, really great question. We surrender when we have so much going on, when we can take those little moments in our day to breathe. When we can take just a few minutes, even if you have to run to the bathroom because you have a child or your partner or your work or whatever is pulling you in the other room and you need to go get these things done and get these things handled. Maybe it takes you to go to the bathroom, look in the mirror, remind yourself who you are, bring your hands to your belly and take that moment to surrender to you, to your higher guidance, to your natural flow. If you are a bodywork therapist already and you have clients and you are stretching them out, or you're doing a massage and you start to get stuck in your head, am I doing this right? Are they enjoying themselves? Am I stretching too much? Am I not doing enough? First of all, feel free to communicate with your client. Second of all, remember your breath. If I ever have a moment where I suddenly think, oh, I have a lot more time, maybe what should I work on right now? And I ever think like that, it rarely happens now, but when it does, I always remember to come back to my breath, and then all of a sudden, I have all of this new energy and insight to complete the bodywork session, and it ends up being delightful and amazing and brilliant. And it wasn't necessarily me because it didn't come from my own psyche or even my experience. And literally just listened to my body and my body listened to their body. And then this beautiful flow happened because I allowed myself to surrender. Surrender your thoughts and let your body flow. Number 3 is trust. How do you really surrender unless you can trust that you are taken care of? How? How do you totally let go and just breathe, but still feel like you have to do everything, or still feel like everything's up to you? And if you don't do something, then no one else will, and then you're stuck, and then, oh my God, this lack and scarcity mentality start to pour through, or this not enoughness start to come through and starts to try and grab at you and keep you stuck. If you think of them as dark energies that are pulling at your consciousness, you can think of them that way. Like they're crawling, they're pulling at your joy, your peace, your surrender. And it can feel like this when you trust, which is not ironically, and when we think about the chakras, it's the throat. The throat energy carries trust. When we don't trust, we feel choked up because our throat energy gets blocked. When we can trust that we are divinely guided, and this isn't to do with religion, this is to do with trusting that we are divinely guided. Now this is different. This is trusting that we are spiritual beings. We are water, we are energy, we are light, we are electricity. We are all these things we can't necessarily see. Sometimes it takes a good use of our stillness to feel into who we are, to actually trust that we are divinely guided. And this is why, if this is a struggle for you, I highly recommend daily meditation. And if this is not a struggle for you and you've got this, I highly recommend daily meditation. Trust. Trust. Trust in yourself, trust in your higher self, trust in God-light energy. However you want to label it, just know that there is more to your dreams than just your brain. Your body and your heart are leading you into a pathway that is divinely guided. And when you can breathe, when you can surrender, and when you can trust, there's no going back. You are on the pathway, and you've got this. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. I hope that it supported you along your journey. If you would like some free guidance on your health journey, your wellness journey, your spiritual transformative journey, then I've got you. Check out the Feel Free guidebook in the description below, and I'll see you in the next video.